Before we get started, I would like to give a big thank you to our sponsors: Georgia Highlands College, Rome Little Theater, Chiaha Harvest Festival, Rome Shakespeare Festival, WLAQ, Rome News Tribune, Megtrek Collective, Rome Emperors, and Rome Area Council for the Arts. Are you ready to jumpstart your career? Georgia Highlands College offers a variety of degrees in film, digital media, communications, business, environmental science, healthcare, nursing, dental, and more. Did you know that with Georgia Highlands dual enrollment programs, you can enroll while you're still in high school? That's right. Plus, we have competitive league sports including basketball, volleyball, soccer, cross country, and even esports. With flexible class schedules and the option to complete many degrees entirely online, your education can fit your lifestyle. Orange and blue are waiting for you. Explore your future with Georgia Highlands College today. Welcome back to another episode of Who Really Knows. I'm Rachel.
I'm Abby.
And today's episode, we're going to be talking about the conspiracies of Sam and Colby's YouTube channel. So I guess we're going to kind of take it, through their channel maybe, if you want. Start from the beginning.
Basically, it's like a react, but we're bringing up the conspiracy theories.
Yeah, just some of the controversy that they've, been in with some of their members, and the most recent with the Conjuring series. And I guess talk about also some theories that we have kind of come up with for that, and their most recent video when they were splitting up. So yeah, we're just gonna run down all the things I think
and
this would be
happened
and what
for
happened
them to split up.
Yeah, just kind of talk about everything. All right,
we didn't have this planned. Anyways,
first, we're gonna be showing this clip of the video from the Conjuring series. This is the Surviving the Week at the Real Conjuring House, and this is with the Cody and Satori. And basically, the controversy that settled with that is that they were faking it.
Yeah.
That there's video that came out that kind of proved that they were faking it, and also that they were doing this long before they said that they were. They told Sam and Colby that they had been doing this for a few years, but then found out later that they were lying about that. And so in this video, it just kind of is showing you them and who they are, and how it affected Sam especially, and to why this is conspiracy controversy is big.
Oh.
So we're gonna...
Okay, hold on a second. So I'm going to play a little game. If you'd like to tell me your first name, I'm going to go through the alphabet. When I get to the first letter of your name, you're gonna knock. I'll restart. When I get to the second letter, you're gonna knock, and I'll keep restarting until I spell out things, okay? All right. So I'm gonna get your first name. A, B, Abigail Arnold. Perfect. It's great to talk to you this evening.
Wait, is this normal?
For us.
What?
So,
This is everywhere.
Do you have something you'd like to say? Okay.
So, that little part, they were, talking to the Abigail Arnold spirit that, is in the Conjuring house, and they're talking with knocks. So, if you can hear, which I'll try to turn it up, in post, but, it sounds like knocks. So they'll ask Abigail, are you here with us? And was it 1 for yes, 2 for no, or?
No, it was knock on a letter. They'll say
no,
the
I'm saying
alphabet.
when they say yes or no.
Oh yeah, it's 1 for yes. 2 for no.
And so you'll hear a knock, or 2 knocks and stuff, and then that's how they communicate with her, is through the knocks.
But the conspiracy is that they were just faking it with somebody else, or somebody popping an ankle or something like that, just to get the effect.
Yeah, and so a lot of people, even when this came out, were I don't think this is real. I think somebody has, some people were trying to say, a broom, or, somebody in the other room was, knocking or something. But it goes outside. That's the thing is though when they're outside too, because later on in these videos, they actually go outside and are walking like on the gravel, and you can hear like the gravel move, like right next to them, and nobody else is there but them, and nobody else is moving. And so it just kind of like begs the question, like, is it real, is it fake? But later on in the video, they are talking, and Sam gets really affected because they get in contact with Sam's grandmother, and supposedly, and a lot of people like and like Sam was like, nobody would know that, that's not public information, like it was like the nickname that she used. But a lot of other people, like, if you dig deep enough, you can find it.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like, you know, I don't really know, but it's kind of like also just shows the kind of people they are. If they did fake this, they went to the extensive research to do this and saw how it negatively affected him, and they didn't even like tell him. So even if it was fake, like they should have told him after, like, hey, like, you know, this is not real. But they didn't say any of that, and now these people don't even work at the contrast. They don't even own it anymore. So it kind of really does make you think that they were faking it, which is like very crappy of them.
Yeah. I was zoned out, sorry.
It's okay. What else do you want to add to that?
Not much. It's just that, like,
well, like, do you believe that that the knocking was real?
no.
Okay. You can explain like why, like what made you, like, when you first watched it, what made you say, oh yeah, this is fake?
Because, like, it just, first, it's only whenever they touch. That's just weird. And neither of them are mediums. So that if this was real, then a real medium could do it. That's how I see it.
Like the Amanda girl?
Yeah, like Amanda. Like, she would be able to do it. And then people were saying that Amanda was fake because she was agreeing with them. No, she probably was, like, seeing and doing all that. But
like with the whole thing with the mediums though too, like you don't really know until you're in that until you can do it. Like, of course nobody's gonna really believe you at first because you're like, oh yeah, I see a ghost that's sitting right here, and then obviously you don't see it, but you're not that person, you don't have that ability. And so I don't know. And like with them finding it, I don't know, like when I first watched it, I did believe it a lot, but then after stuff started coming out, it kind of just made me like second guess myself. And also it just kind of shows that people will just like me, like believe it, like no doubt. And so it's kind of really a scary thing to think about when we're talking about all these conspiracy theories. And like when we talked about the cults episode, you know, of like how people are brainwashed so easily. And I feel like this is really a great example of that, of how, you know, anybody can be fooled about anything, and you really don't know what's real and what's fake anymore.
yeah, and that's what leads me to believe that, you know how Sam was like in the Annabelle video, and he went behind Colby's back and everything. That's what leads me to believe that Sam just quit believing right there. Like, he's been finding it hard to believe since that.
Well, I don't necessarily think that he doesn't believe it.
He does believe, but like
he's just trying to prove to himself. I think he's doubted because of this whole Conjuring experience.
That's what
It's
I was
made
trying
him.
to say.
It's made him like doubt because he's like, well, is this all fake then? Is it all what we've been doing fake? And the knocks that you hear in the videos, is that just someone messing with them? Is it like one of the people, you know, that own the building? Is it them messing with them? Like,
Yeah.
And so I think that, like, when they went in to do the video about the haunted dolls, that he really, like he said, it wasn't like he was trying to betray Colby or anything. It was just he was trying to prove to himself that, you know, that this was all real, and that he thought that if he could get all three of the dolls, you know, a picture of them all together, that, like, it can create this sort of, like, explosion, I guess, in a way, with like all this energy and stuff, and that maybe something would happen that would make him believe. But
Like, still in the wrong.
yeah, like this one video I found on TikTok, and it was saying that they're missing something, and like how Peggy was basically telling before he went to Annabelle that like you're stupid, and that they knew that something bad was gonna happen, because they knew that Sam had took the picture.
Yeah, and Peggy said don't play.
And yeah, and then they went to see Annabelle, and it was talking about separation, and the Robert the doll was saying that it cursed people that disrespected him, and Sam took a picture of him after Colby had already apologized. And so then they separated, and now they just did a video where they were separated in the jail cell.
They were like an hour and like 30 minutes away or something.
An hour
like that.
apart, and Sam got stuck into like this hole. He was stuck in there, and he couldn't get out.
Handcuffs
He was
on.
handcuffed, and he couldn't get out.
Because Colby forgot to put the keys in the bag.
And they realized that being separated is not good for them, because something bad could happen. And
Yeah.
like especially Sam wanting to do this on his own and really like try to figure this stuff out for himself is very dangerous. Doing any of this stuff is dangerous, and they were gonna do rituals and like stuff by themselves, and that's really dangerous. Like especially if you don't have the right precaution or anything, it can really turn south and really turn for the worst.
But you gotta think about it. When Sam called Colby, he just got done setting up the ritual. So what if it was like meant to be that way? So
Yeah, that's what I'm
Colby
saying.
didn't
Like,
do the ritual.
it could be like, who knows what happened if they would have went through with that, and Colby could have got, hurt or possessed or something, and
We don't need that again.
But also, like you were saying, before we started the podcast, when we were talking about like what to talk about, you're talking about how Sam might still be
Possessed by Sally.
yeah.
Yeah, cause in this new video, all throughout it, Sam, like his name kept appearing all throughout the Ovilus and not Ovilus, the spirit box and everything. Like they kept saying Sam, 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 and then at the end it said Sally, but like cheerfully. That crap gave me chills.
Yeah. And also, there is speculation that Colby could also have something, because, when they were doing the school and they went to the basement, and it looked like Colby was getting, like, possessed.
Don't say that.
You didn't see that one?
That's a traumatic time for me.
Oh, yeah.
I'm joking.
Yeah. That whole video, like, when they were in the basement with that, like, evil
No, I cut
creature.
off my TV so fast.
I mean, it's scary, and, these things, are these other not of this planet and this earth creatures. They can do a lot of things to people, and they can really they can separate people. They can turn them and do things to them, and make them do bad things. Like there was this one case. Have you ever watched Ghost Adventures?
Yes.
Yeah. There was these two people that were friends with, like, Zach Bacon's. It was the Debbie and her husband, maybe Mark.
I remember that.
And he ended up killing her and then killing himself. And a lot of people said that he was possessed because of all the stuff that they were doing. They didn't take proper precaution. And I feel like something like that could actually happen to Sam and Colby if they don't, protect themselves. And if Sam keeps wanting to do all these, things to make him believe, which is great and all. I mean, like, you want to have proof, but you have to go about it the right way and be safe about it.
Yeah.
What about the time conspiracy?
Oh, there was this one conspiracy about how, in reality, they're talking to the future in the spirit boxes. 'Cause how that one like spirit box session, where how Colby, who was it, Colby or Sam, who got lost in the woods?
It was, I think it was Sam that got left, and he was screaming for Colby, I think.
No.
Well, because in the video, he's like, Colby!
Yes. And then the spirit box session, jeez. It sounded like that exact moment. Like, the same pitch and everything. It was like, Colby!
Yeah, but that voice that came through was...
It was Sam's.
But it was also after that video, like years after that video took place, because that was the Witch's Forest.
Yeah. And
this video was them at the school, I think? I think it might have been either them at the school or they were at a place. It was just
was it with the boys?
I don't remember, but they were at a place, and this happened at the Witch's Forest like years ago.
Yeah.
And then a lot of people like on TikTok were talking about it, and then they reacted to it, and they were like, "Oh my gosh!" Like
that actually did.
And a lot of this stuff, like I think at the school they kind of proved that with like all this stuff being in the future. And what they mean by that is that like ourselves in the future are with us right now, and that like time, the concept of time is just so like big and broad, and that like we live like in the moment, and we'll live in time and like this part of time for like ever. And so when you're communicating with ghosts, they're saying that you're communicating with people's like past selves, and it's not really like them being like, it's not really like them dead, you know, and just like walking around here. It's like their spirit, but like I don't know how to explain it, like kind of like a replay, I guess,
basically,
of like a moment in time. So like
you know how,
right now, our moment right now, like we're talking, like basically like this moment could be played back in the future.
It's like how they say ghosts go through
portals?
No, like a relapse of how they died.
Mm-hmm.
Like a replay how they died. Like they just keep playing like in the same circle, doing the same things, and then they die over and over again, which kind of sucks.
So yeah, that whole like theory is that like, you know, we're living, I guess, in the, how would you word that? Like we're living like our,
I have no idea.
I don't know how to explain it. It's really hard when you think about it. It's
the
really
dude put
like,
it. Just show the video.
I guess I'll put it up on the screen.
Again, time is a human construct. Erase that for a second. You are now making known where you're going. How do we know we're not communicating with the future?
Whoa! Oh, I just got chills.
Is that why you died? That was really weird.
What?
Do you know when you hear, like, obviously the car sound of like a... I was like hearing that. It was like coming into the room.
It's worth taking note of Carl's strange experience here. Bizarrely as it seems, this could directly relate to what happens to him later on in the investigation. Could this actually be some kind of spirit projected premonition of the future, describing audibly the moment when this spirit would make itself known to him?
Now, despite how violently this object appears to move, as if suddenly pushed off by an unseen force, you may have noticed that a car drove past literally moments before this happened.
You make a sound. What the f was that, bro?
Now remember back to earlier in the investigation when we pointed out an experience that Carl had, as if in his mind he heard the sound of a car passing by. You can now see why we were wondering, was this some kind of premonition he was given, describing the moment when the spirit would reveal its presence to him.
So like a premonition, I guess, like that's why it's just so weird. So like all this stuff has already happened, and everything that when you're investigating and you're getting all this stuff being told to you, it's like already happened, and it's not right now. Like it's not like a real conversation you're having with the ghost. It's a conversation that they had in that moment when they were alive. And so yeah, it's really hard. Like when you think about it, like it just makes your head hurt, and it's just like, what is life right now? Like what is going on? Are we real? Are we not real? Like, what is happening?
Right.
But yeah, so that one was a wild one. My head hurt a little bit.
You made my head hurt trying to explain that.
I know. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. I'm trying to think of other things.
I think that was all.
What do you think the future of the channel is gonna look like?
Hopefully not separated. Because that actually scared the crap out of me.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think they're going to continue doing their investigations together. Because in the end of their last video, they actually looked happier to be investigating with each other. Instead of, like, being on their own, just scared. And it wasn't as funny in the beginning. And then at the end, it was all jokes.
Which he said that too, that it's a lot more fun when they all get to like laugh with each other. Like after they catch something, they go and tell each other.
Yeah.
But like them being alone the whole time, it's just not fun. And it can really do a lot to someone's mental health too. And putting themselves through something like that and not having anybody to go to after to like calm down, you know, and feel safe with, like you're by yourself. And also, being by yourself and stuff is dangerous, like I said earlier, and
because if Colby wasn't there, like Sam, like if Sam didn't have his phone and he was locked in there, something bad could happen.
And you're more susceptible, I think that's the word, to possession because you're by yourself. You're vulnerable. Especially Sam was in a vulnerable state. He was chained. He was handcuffed. And in that room with the portal.
He was not chained up.
Not chained up, he was handcuffed. But he was stuck in the room with the portal.
No, that was the place where the crawler was.
Yeah, he was in that thing in the portal because the mirror.
Oh, yeah.
And so...
Yeah, a lot of crazy stuff happened in the video. If you didn't watch it, go watch it.
But, it's scary. It's a really scary topic. And just ghosts in general, like I've had experience with ghosts. Have you ever had an experience, like firsthand?
When I was younger.
Why don't we talk about it? Why not? Talk about our experiences.
Me and my brothers were playing on the stairs, and when we had a mattress on the stairs, because our stairs, because it was an old house, and he said he'll be right back, and all of a sudden we felt a big push. Me and my other brother, we were on the mattress and we just tumbled down the stairs. And my brother Mikey, he wasn't anywhere to be seen. It was kind of scary. But then we left the house because we didn't want to deal with it.
Yeah. So you got touched, basically.
It wasn't me, it was my brother.
Oh, your brother got touched.
Yeah, he said it felt like huge hands, like not normal size hands, but like giant sized.
Have you ever tried to investigate or do anything like that?
No, I'm not that.
I have. I've done something like that.
I can watch that stuff. I won't do that stuff.
Yeah. There was one time that me and my friends, it was at my birthday party when we were 13, and we were at night, we were playing the Charlie game, with the pencil. And you ask Charlie, are you there and the pencil's supposed to move?
I'm sorry, but y'all are white.
And we were playing that, and we were waiting for we were trying to wait for the pencil to move, and we were just sitting there, and we all of a sudden we heard the microwave going off. It was 4 a.m, and it was the buttons are pressed, and I have a video of it. I'll try to find it and insert it, but you could hear the microwave being pressed, and we went and looked and nobody was there. There was nothing in the microwave, and it was really scary. And then we were playing, and then we decided to also play a game we found on the internet, and it was the thumb game, I guess is what it translated to. It was a Japanese game, and basically it was this lady, she had a weird name, and you had to say her name, you had to say this whole little chant, you had to sit there and hold each other's, you had to interlock thumbs with each other in a circle.
You're gonna end up getting possessed one day.
I had to say it, and you had to close your eyes, and you were supposed to be like transported into like this other like place of like where the lady was from.
Did it happen?
And when you're talking, whatever you see, you have to talk about it out loud. And we were all sitting there talking about it, and we all were in the same place. Like, I remember sitting there, and I saw like a dark alley, and there was like bricks, and it was like rainy, and it was cold, and one of my friends saw a church. And like the other was like, I see the alleyway, and like I see a man, and I was like, and then one of my other friends said, oh yeah, I think I see that man in the distance. So we were like in all different places of this place, and the thing was, if you feel, you're supposed to like see something, and then if one of your friends or the members that are playing feels like a bony finger touch like your back, then you have to like not look behind you. You have to like get out of it, because like that's that lady trying to come and like get you. And my friend was sitting there, we were talking about it, and she started flipping out. We're like, what? She goes, I felt something touch my back. And so that was a really like scary moment, and that we haven't done anything like that since then, just because we had that experience and then the microwave going off. There's a lot of stuff. Another thing, me and my brother were doing a spirit box session in my room, and we got in contact with this guy. His name was Mark, and he died in a car crash. He was a doctor, and so we found out that he wasn't like an evil guy. He just was not nice, and I started getting scratches after that.
Oh yeah, you told me about that.
I would have scratch marks on my arm, and we just said, oh, that's Mark. And then I moved into a new house, and I hadn't got scratched, so I was like, okay, that's weird. And then one night, like a few months after we had moved in, me and my friend were having sleepover, and I have pictures of this too. I can try to insert it. And I had scratches on my back, like, so I felt my back burning, and I went and turned and looked in the mirror, and I had scratch marks on my back. And those like cat scratches, but this was in November, and I got my cat in January, and so there is no way that I would have that on my back. And then a couple, like literally within minutes, like apart, I looked back in the mirror because I felt burning on my back again, and I had more scratches on my back. And that was the last time that I actually got scratched. So it was really like scary, because I was like, is that the Mark guy, like mad at me for moving, because he was like, he could have been attached to me, And then when I moved, because I moved into my great-grandparents' old house, and they were very religious, and the house was full of like Bibles, and it was very cleansed with like religion and stuff. So I think that could have been like him leaving, and he was mad because he
couldn't be with you.
He couldn't be attached to me anymore because of my faith and my religion and everything, and being protected by God. And so that was really like a scary moment. And I actually had another experience too in the woods. Me and my cousins were at her house. We were at their house, and we would play in the woods all the time as kids, but like not far. Like the woods were surrounded to their house, and we wouldn't go more than like a couple feet into the woods, just because like we were young. And this was just like around the time with the killer clowns, you remember? And so like my little cousins were like terrified of the clowns, and they were like, oh my gosh, I thought I saw a clown, which she didn't see a clown. But how she was like, I was probably about 7 or 8, so she probably was like 5 or 6.
So she was just like a scaredy cat.
Yeah. And so me being the big cousin, I was like, we were walking in the woods, and it was probably like, it was getting dark. It was in the summertime, so it was probably like 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, But there was still light outside. And we weren't far away from the house at all. Like, you could see it through the trees, so it was pretty close. And so, me being the big cousin I am, I was like, if there's any clowns out here, you can't come out, I'm not scared of you, we're not scared of you, I was just talking all the talk. And there's this clearing, like, how in woods there's like an opening, and you could just see all in front of you, you could see around you, So if anybody was there, you would see, and it was just me and my little cousin, she was beside me. And when I was saying all this stuff, I look in front of me, and nobody's there, and I hear a little girl say, hello, just like that, just like a hello, right in front of me.
That's when you run.
And I just stopped for a second, and I looked at her, and she was white, like pale, like white as it goes. I mean, her face, she was like, a tear came down from her eye. And I looked, and at first I thought she might have said that, and then I was like, did you say that? And she looked at me, and she said, And then she started booking them. We started booking it to the house. And her flip-flop came off because it was summertime, you know. And I said, leave your shoe. I said, leave it. We'll come back and get it later. So we booked it to the house. Okay, so we were like scared. So, you know, we were chilling out, playing. Whatever, a couple hours go by. It's probably like 9 o'clock now or something. It's completely dark outside. And so we were like, okay, do you want to go get your shoe? You know, it's been a couple hours. Well, it's been a couple hours, so you thought, okay, maybe it's fine.
No.
So we open the door and we start walking down the porch, and as soon as we like hit that porch, we hear a scream. A little girl scream, like an awful scream. And we were like, nope, this you can wait. And so we didn't go back out there until the morning. And so it was early in the morning, and we go back out there, and her shoe's gone. The shoe is missing. She never got that shoe back.
Oh, she got an attachment.
So yeah, that was probably the most terrifying experience I ever had, just because it was so real. And I don't know. I still don't know what had happened or what that was, if it was even like, if it was a real little girl, or not. Like, I don't know.
There's things that disguise themselves.
Yeah, that's also what, when I got older, I found out that it could have been worse.
But who really knows, you know?
Yeah. Well, I guess that'll be I guess we'll end it here. Anything else you want to add before we go?
No.
Well, thank you for watching this episode. And before we go, we once again like to thank our supporters: Georgia Highlands College, Rome Little Theater, Chiaha Harvest Fair, Rome Shakespeare's Festival, WLAQ, Rome News Tribune, Megtrek Collective, Rome Area Council for the Arts, and Rome Emperors.